With the 2023 Formula 1 season being all wrapped up, and 2023 is a year also coming to an end, let's use this opportunity and review all of the 2023 liveries. How many times have I said 2023? Anyway, let's use this time to review all of the liveries, put them in a tier list, see which ones were good and which ones were absolute. You know what I wanted to say. We have 6 categories: greatest, perfect, simply lovely, alright, and bin. Comment down below which livery you guys think is going to make it into the bin. And whilst you're there, hit the subscribe button. With that out the way, enjoy your day. Livery number uno, we have Aston Martin. The British Racing Green will really never get old for me. The pinstripes are looking absolutely phenomenal on this car. And I think there's just the right amount of black and white to contrast it all. I much prefer it to the 2022 livery, and for that reason, I'm going to put it into perfect. Alpine. They've had a interesting season, to say the least, but the livery has not been interesting at all. I'm going to straight away put it into the category. I don't like the pink and the blue at all. The 2021 livery hit differently. That thing was so nice. And from then, I don't know how it's managed to go downhill. They had a beautiful red and blue colorway in 2021, and then 2022 rocks around. Ooh. Haas and their MoneyGram livery. From the get-go, I never liked this livery. Gonna be honest. It did grow on me during the season because some people were saying that, oh my god, it's the greatest livery of all time. But in my opinion, I still don't like it. I think there's too much black. It doesn't stand out. It's a black and white livery with a sprinkle of red. Not innovative whatsoever. I'm gonna put it into again. Lando's bread and butter, we have McLaren. This livery is also quite interesting. At the start of the season, I was on the fence whether I liked it or not. I still think there's a bit too much blue. I don't think the orange pops as much as it should have. So for that reason, I'm going to put it into alright. Mercedes have always had good liveries. No, they haven't. For the last couple years, they've had great liveries. 2022, the livery was amazing, even though the car was quite shit. 2021 and 20, they were also very nice. And this, well, it lives up to the expectations and the standards set by Mercedes. I'm also going to put it into perfect alongside Aston Martin. I think there's enough black that, you know, it stands out and it isn't just boring. Yes, the black might be quite simple, but there's something about the pinstripe of the Petronas blue, whatever it's called. It looks beautiful. And especially Hamilton's car, when he has the yellow accents on his helmet, his gloves, the little thing on the halo, the I don't know what it's called, the thing at the top. Yeah, it looks beautiful. Forza Ferrari have gone downhill in the last year, and so has their livery. I think their last year's livery was stunning, but this year they added some black thing on the side pod. I don't understand why. Why would you do that? So for that reason, I'm gonna put it into simply lovely. It's alright. I think it's better than McLaren, but the black thing on the sideboard ruins it entirely for me. Red Bull haven't had a different livery in like 50 years, but it's a good livery. I personally really like the livery. I've always have. I think the 2018 and the 2021 liveries were the best Red Bull liveries ever, but this one, it's you know, it's a Red Bull livery. They won't change it ever. So for that reason, I'm going to put it into simply lovely. I really do like it. Don't judge me, please. Now, some people call Alfa Romeo the kings of liveries. 2022 was spectacular. 2021 also, and so on and so forth. They've always been good. But this year, they've stepped it up a bit. Black and red. Ooh, a black and red car as opposed to their black and white cars. Going all stealth mode. It's superb. This is going straight away into perfect. You really couldn't ask for anything more. AlphaTauri, what a disappointing livery. I don't like the red whatsoever. I don't think it matches the blue and the white and the black theme that they've going on. I think adding another color, there's too much and it just doesn't look good. 2020 was beautiful. 2021 was nice as well. And again, things have just been going downhill. I'm going to put this into bin. I really despise it. Next up, we have the greatest team in Formula 1. Williams. And in my humbly personal opinion, I think this is the best Williams livery we've had in over a decade maybe. Last year was a good livery. The year before that, 2021, I wasn't quite sure about it, but this is spectacular in my opinion. The Duracell partnership on the top of the car, I think that is great. The marketing geniuses there, big brains. And I think it just looks great. I don't have any more words for it. It's just great. I'm going to put this into perfect. And with that, I mean, that's all of the base liveries out of the way. Now we're going to get onto the special liveries, which some teams have and some teams don't. Anyway, so we're going to kick off the special liveries with the Red Bull Las Vegas livery. And I don't like it, which isn't a good sign. I'm going to put it into alright. I think there's a bit too much going on in the livery. Too much at the back, too much at the front. And it's just a mishmash of colours. I personally think that the stock livery just looks better. But not all special liveries are bad, because we have the McLaren used in Monaco, I think? Yeah. So, I think this livery is spectacular. We have the black front nose, the white middle part, and the orange rear. You know, on face value, it's kind of simple, but it is stunning. So, for that reason, I'm going to put it into greatest, as I generally think it's one of the best liveries we've had all season. Oh, yeah. Ferrari have had quite a few special liveries this season, and one of them being the Las Vegas one. They replaced most of the white with black, which looks great. I mean, not when Carlos had his little moment in FP1, but it did look amazing for the rest of the weekend. And I'm going to put it into perfection. I think it looks stunning, much better than the regular car, maybe because of the white nostalgia. Now, as if Alfa Romeo's livery couldn't get any better, they decided to step it up yet again. Their special Monza livery with the Italian flag at the rear is something special. This thing is going straight away into the greatest liveries, and I generally think it's one of the best liveries Alfa Romeo have ever produced. Oh yeah. 2021 Monaco, we saw the McLaren rocking the Golf livery, where Lando scored a podium and lapped Ricciardo. Sad times. But since then, times have changed, and Golf is now in a partnership, in a relationship with Williams. And however much I like Williams, I do not like this livery whatsoever. I generally think this livery stinks. Maybe it's just the design of the car. Maybe it just looked better on the 2021 cars compared to the 2023 cars. But with all of my heart, seeing this car for 3 races of the season, nah. Bruh. Next up, we have another Ferrari special livery. This one was used in Monza, and, well, it delivered, and so did the race, where Carlos scored P3. Yellow has a nice contrast on the black and the red, and I think it also is stunning. So, for that reason, I'm gonna put it into perfection. Back in the day, McLaren had a chrome livery when Hamilton was racing for the team. But since then, times have changed and they've gone with the papaya orange colorway. But in Silverstone, they switched it up, back to the chrome, and this is what they designed. Now let me just get it out of the way. It's a masterpiece of a livery, but I do think there's too much black on the car, not enough chrome. It doesn't stand out as much. I remember seeing it in the race, and you barely could see the chrome. So for that reason, I'm going to put it into simply lovely. I think the idea was there, but they didn't execute it well enough. Alpine's pink livery, featured in Bahrain and Jeddah, is, it's better than their standard livery, as, it's just a flat color, and there's some highlights to it. So I'm going to put it into alright. There's not much to really say or talk about it. It's just pink, but I still do think it's better than their ugly blue color, whatever that's. AlphaTauri only had one special livery throughout the whole season, and was it worth the wait the whole season up to Las Vegas to get a special livery from AlphaTauri? Well, I think it was. I think this is one of the best liveries that AlphaTauri have run in, well, the last couple years, and we saw it in Las Vegas and Abu Dhabi. There's actually something interesting going on in the rear of the car, unlike their AlphaTauri logo, which is quite boring and quite standard. So I'm honestly gonna put this into perfection. McLaren yet again have delivered. Their Abu Dhabi livery was also something special as most of their other liveries. It was beautiful. I mean, look at the design on the side pods and the side of the front wing. it's intricate, it's detailed, but yet you couldn't really see it when they were racing. They were going too fast. So for that reason, I'm going to put it into perfection. I don't think it deserves the greatest yet, but there was enough going on and enough details for it to be there, but I still don't think it makes the final cut. Singapore was great for McLaren, a P2, and, well, Lando nearly won the race. But what also was great was their livery during the Singapore Grand Prix, the McLaren Stealth. Now, straight away, I'm going to put it out there. I think this is the best McLaren livery we've had since 2021. So, of course, it's going into the greatest category. Well, there's just a nice blend of colours. The black and the orange look phenomenal together. And there's none of that blue just dancing around doing nothing and just distracting your eyes. It's clean, it's simple, and, well, it's just beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Yet again, Alfa Romeo always manages to deliver. Their livery in Las Vegas was a full black livery with playing cards all over it. Could you ask for anything better? Yes, well, the Monza livery. But I'm going to put it into perfection. There was enough going on for it to be interesting, but Las Vegas already being dark on track, you couldn't really see the playing cards. So that was its only downfall. But perfection, that's still a good tier. Williams have had a couple special liveries this season, and they had one in the States. But I think they took the lazy way out on this one. Just an American flag at the rear? Is that all you have to offer? Really? I'm going to put it into alright. Agreeably, it's just their standard livery with the American flag. Nothing special. Red Bull also had a special livery in the States, and the same with Williams. It was a bit boring. A couple little colourful lines down the side, and that's it. Call it a day. Yes, I think that the fans designed it, or the fans got to choose which one's on the car, but it's boring. Look at all the other teams being innovative. McLaren, Alfa Romeo, changing the whole car when need be. But Red Bull just adding a couple pinstripes, it's not going to cut it. I'm also going to put it into alright. Spa was a short race for Oscar Piastri, but what else was short was my liking for the Alfa Romeo livery. It started off pretty cool with XQC's name being on the halo and a couple other streamers. But the green, it just doesn't look good on the car. It's too distracting from the livery and doesn't match the colour scheme whatsoever. I'm going to put it into eh. Alpine had a collab with the clothing brand, or whatever it is, Palace, during the season. And they created a special livery because of it. It's a good livery. There was more details in the blue and the pink, making it not as flat as it usually is. And for that reason, I'm going to put it into simply lovely. I think it deserves that tier. The base car, it's ugly, let's be real. But this added something to it. Added some personality. Like many other teams, McLaren also had a special livery in the Las Vegas Grand Prix. There was a couple poker chips, Jack Daniels, and things added to the livery, which I guess made it more interesting, less black in some areas. But it wasn't the greatest yet again. The base livery, I've put it into alright, and with this, a bit more detail, a bit more effort put into the livery, I'm going to put it into simply lovely. There's, as I said, just a bit more going on, more interesting. And surprise, surprise, Williams, they also had a special livery in Las Vegas. But I thought it was a bit tacky. Yet again, a bit simple. At the back of the car, they just added or thrown down a couple little objects, some lights. It wasn't that interesting. It was very boring, just like all of their other special liveries this season. So, for that reason, I'm going to put it into eh. Now, our final livery is the Williams Silverstone livery. Yet again, it's a bit boring. They just had the English flag at the rear, and, well, that's it. But I can't deny, it did look nice, and I'm going to put it into alright. So that's the tier list all done. Put it down in the comments. What did you think of this tier list? And if you have any changes that you'd do yourself, make sure to subscribe, like, and peace. Oops, I nearly forgot. Aston Martin, they also had a special livery in Silverstone. A couple red and blue marks because of their sponsor Valvoline, but it was just bad. I'm going to be honest. It didn't match anything, and I'm going to put it into alright. It's an alright livery, but nothing special. Anyway, peace.